Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world right now. I am that ball bro, and welcome to episode number 62 of the Group Chat Wrestling Podcast. We have a lot on our docket today, and no better place for us to start than maybe the biggest news in the entire world of professional wrestling right now. As in, it's been almost a decade since AJ Lee has graced our screens on WWE programming, and this past Friday night on SmackDown in Chicago, she made her long-awaited return to a thunderous Chicago applause, and yeah, it was a very big moment. Huge numbers on social media, on cable numbers, whatever it was. We'll find out that probably later in the week. But a lot of fans of hers out there, and a lot of fans in general, have made the argument, was this one of the best returns in professional wrestling history? And I know all this panel right here has their opinions on that. And if it's not AJ Lee, let's go one by one real quick. What is your favorite return in professional wrestling history?
I mean, CM Punk's, her husband's was better, possibly twice. Definitely the one in AEW. That was the best return in his wrestling history, man. Surely that's the best return. That was amazing. That was an incredible night. Yeah, it's CM Punk on Rampage back in 2021. Come on, man, by a long way. It was amazing.
That's good.
Absolutely, I'll agree with you, Mark. But like, especially like for me and a couple of my friends, we drove out from here to New York to Chicago to see Punk's return at that Rampage. Like literally, like when that Dynamite ended, we drove straight through the night, 12-hour drive from here in New York to Chicago, and like I mean, straight through the night to the morning, easy drive, no traffic. So that's the best time to drive. But how do you say, the first thing we get to in Chicago, we go to Pro Wrestling Tees, we pick up our merch over there and whatnot, and then the atmosphere in Rampage the following day, outside waiting in the line, waiting to get into the United Center. I mean, it was electric. It was WrestleMania level esque. I mean, I gotta be honest with you. And even like in the dark matches leading up to it, which were pretty good up until the start of the show, like just the vibe, the energy in the arena was just, like I said, it was WrestleMania level as like it's big time crowd feeling. I mean, and then once the Rampage theme hits, like we're all just chanting CM Punk to top of our lungs. Then when that first guitar riff hits, like the roof exploded. And it's also makes it bigger in my opinion, because the past decade or so, past 7 years, everyone was chanting for CM Punk's name on WWE programming. 2015, 16, 17, 18, like just random as hell. They were always chant. They wanted Punk's return. And all due respect to AJ Lee, like they weren't on the level of Punk. They weren't doing that for AJ Lee on WWE programming. I mean, here's the thing. I'm not hating on her return. Like if you're a fan of hers, you're excited for her to come back, then I'm glad of you. I see a lot of on Twitter and whatnot, like people are hating or mocking like the reactions of her fans, like how they're like, you. I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna go on that level. Like, yeah, if you're a fan of hers, like, I'm happy for you if you're long waited for her return. But I just think it's so much little dick energy when I see these people on Twitter or social media like just mock or, because they feel a certain type of way about her returning. Like they feel a personal connection to her. They want her back for so long, and they finally got that. So, whether I rank her high or low as a wrestler, like me personally, I don't rank her that high as a professional wrestler. But at the same time, I'm not gonna knock anyone here who's emotionally invested in her return. I just think that's like clown shit in my opinion, but that's just me.
Yeah, can I say like I wasn't watching wrestling when AJ Lee was around. I've gone back and watched some bits. The one thing I'd say is she was head and shoulders above any other woman in that division that they curated to be nothing more than divas. She was head and shoulders above anyone else in that division in terms of the way she was presented, in terms of the way she carried herself. She had something about her massively. I didn't sit there and watch her matches intently, so I'm not going to sit there and make judgment on it. I didn't watch the return. What day is it? We recorded on, it's Monday. I watched it last night. I just caught it finally saw it on Twitter. It was a great moment. It was a really good moment. And yeah, that's what it was. It was a great moment. But everyone now, and again, most wrestling fans are culpable of doing this. Everything has to be the best or the greatest ever. It doesn't always have to be that. Something can just be really fucking cool, and then we carry on with our days. Like the amount of times I've watched an AEW match when I could say that's got an argument for being the best match I've ever seen or the best match of this year. or the best pay-per-view this year, because AEW tend to hit those standards quite regularly. It's not always the case with things. And AJ, like people can put the hyperbole out there if they want, fine. They're gonna, that's what wrestling fans do. It's what everyone does in life. It was a really good moment. It wasn't the best return in wrestling history, and but there's no need for people to have gone out there and said those kind of things, because again, it was probably the third best in a household.
Yeah, it was good. It was good, but claiming it was the best, you're inviting people to be dickheads
Yeah,
to you when you
exactly.
start with that, I think.
Yeah.
It wasn't the best. The best was the Outrunners on Collision on Saturday, coming back in the jungle, which is why I've green for this. That was the best because they've been away for a while, and it was a fucking hell of a return. It got me excited. I was jumping up and down. I was punching the air. I was high-fiving my dog. It was fucking great, man. That's the best return of all time. It probably is CM Punk Rampage. That probably is it, to be honest. But there's
so good. Like ignore what happened after was bullshit, and he's a bellend. But like that moment was just it was so fucking good. It was so good when he returned. It felt good. It was great to see him back. It was the anti-establishment man at that point in time before he became the corporate stooge he is now. It was great. It was so good.
It was the whole build up to it as well. I mean, if you remember, there was the kind of like Sean Ross Sapp has literally fucking made his name off that, because he wasn't, if you remember, he wasn't really that big before that, and he was the one going, and then all of a sudden he became this kind of the go-to news guy based on the back of the fact that he was the first to break. He wasn't as big as nowhere near as big as he was now, because he was the first to break this story. It was fucking huge. And I that's the first time I'd ever heard his name, to be honest. And the amount of subscribers I think from memory Fightful got from that was because nobody knew it. Nobody had even heard of any of this. Like, if you remember, like, everyone was happy thinking, oh, Punk's retired or whatever the fuck, he's not going to come back. And it was just that one story broke. And then all of a sudden, I was like, what the fuck? Hang on. It was like a fucking football transfer on deadline day happening. And you're like, what? What the fuck? You start getting really excited. And I'd missed all the Punk stuff, so I didn't know anything about it. But you could still, even as someone who didn't, wasn't watching when wrestling was dog shit, so I didn't know anything about Punk, the whole fucking, like, you could feel the excitement people had for it. It was huge. And I feel like the AJ Lee stuff is more, it feels a hell of a lot more, look, there's pockets of people who are genuinely excited, but it feels a hell of a lot more manufactured or forced or for tribalistic reasons than the Punk stuff that felt just like it felt organic, it felt real. Whereas this feels more like, hey, if someone's back, fuck you, AEW. That's essentially what I'm seeing all week is, oh, AJ Lee's back, thanks, Jack Perry. Like, what?
Yeah, so it's fucking embarrassing.
And like, I don't even, I genuinely, I said the other day, like, who the fuck is she? I didn't know, because I didn't watch wrestling when it was shit. And I had people fucking messaging me, fucking calling me all sorts. It's like, what the fuck? So I looked
How
up
fucking
Cage
dare
match.
you, Andy? How fucking dare you not know their GOAT in a time you didn't watch?
Cage match rating say it all. So, sorry, Ben.
Andy, like, well, here's the thing. Like, I hear what you said about Collision with the Outrunners, but you only told half the story in that bit.
Oh, yes.
Who did they return with? That wasn't the only return. Who did they return with?
The most powerful of
Peacock himself.
Mr. fucking Dalton Castle. Oh my God.
Can I? Yeah. Can I say that I live like a 20-minute drive away from the actual Dalton Castle? It's a place. It's a real castle in England.
Nice.
And I live near there. I live quite close to Blackpool as well. Yeah. One day I'm going to go to Dalton Castle, the place, and just take a little video there. It's going to be amazing. Next time AEW come over in December, Manchester isn't that far away. Dalton, I will personally take you to Dalton Castle. We could have Dalton in Dalton. It's going to be beautiful.
That's going to be a strange
It's a real
experience.
castle. Yeah, it's a real place. It's like Leighton Buzzard. He's named himself after a real place.
I was just really excited because like I can't remember who, someone suggested putting someone with the Outrunners the other day, and I was like, that's all cool, but I like the Outrunners as a tag team. I don't want them as in a trio. But Dalton Castle kind of, he doesn't exist on the same plane as everybody else for me, so he doesn't count. So if you put them in a team with Dalton Castle, it just works. You could put anyone in a team with Dalton Castle and it works. He's that fucking good. Like, he just stays Dalton Castle no matter what everyone else is doing. And for some bizarre reason, it fucking works. You could put him in the fucking Elite and it would be fucking great.
He would make it work.
Yeah, he would. He would, though. Like, that's the thing. Moxley would be beating the shit out of someone, and Dalton Castle would be fucking
in the background,
feeding his boys, yeah.
I think Harley Cameron's going to fill that role. If Statlander joins the Death Riders, Harley Cameron's going to join because they don't know how to stop her, and none of them know how to get rid of her. I
think she should join the Outrunners in Dalton Castle.
She would be incredible.
I know.
Wait, before we move on, You've all got it wrong about the best return, and I'm ashamed because the best return in wrestling happened today, to this very day.
What,
On
like
Monday
us?
when we are recording,
We've only been gone a
BTE
week.
has returned. Being the
Oh.
Elite is back. I'm
Is it
ashamed of all
officially
of you.
back? Like,
Yes.
like
I
I
think so.
I seen the tweet they put out where like, look, we need a bit of we're doing this for the love of the game, but we also need a bit of cash, which
Yep.
is cool.
General feeling is it's back. So yeah, the young bums are back. Bucks, sorry, young bucks. They're not bums. Young bucks.
I'm
are
hoping.
Back.
I hope they're gonna get some Dark Order involvements as well because I need all these
I
people
hope
back
so,
together.
but Dark Order just aren't on telly. When are they going to do it?
That's why they can do it because they're not on telly.
Oh,
Yeah.
true.
Exactly.
The involvement they need is this dude is Brandon. In fact, I'm wearing
He's
my
gone,
Young
hasn't he?
Bucks shirt today with a. I thought I might have to buy another. They need the money. But since if I want a return, I'm going to go with one from many years ago. WrestleMania 10. Mr. Perfect came back as a guest referee.
Was that the first time
Yeah.
he'd come back? Was he not around before then?
He'd left. He'd been gone since like just after WrestleMania 9. I think he'd been gone for quite a few months.
I was picturing. I knew he was at WrestleMania 9 because So oh wow, I didn't realize he was gone that long.
He came back as a special guest referee and remembered he held a grudge against Lex Luger all that time and sort of fucked him out of his match against Yokozuna. So the only long-term storytelling WWE have ever done, and it was that one.
I was just going to say Mr. Perfect actually was one I was going to say, but not that one. The one when he came back in the Rumble and he ended up fucking. He got to the point where like it wasn't just a celebrity appearance. I actually thought he was going to win it. I was like, "What the fuck? What's going on here?" And he fucking hit a perfect plex on fucking Stone Cold, and you're like, "What are you doing, man? He's got to go over the fucking ropes. They're not going to count this shit." It was
it's like
fucking great,
Macho
man.
Man tried to pin Yokozuna. Do you know Mr. Perfect was meant to win? I want to say the '91 Rumble. It was either 90 or 91, and Hogan.
Yeah, he won. He won the was it the Saturday Night Main Event Battle Royale? I think he won one of them.
I think so. Yeah, one of those.
It always felt like that was, or you know, you always assume that was the kind of, oh, you can have this, let him have this.
Yeah.
But no, but you actually one you mentioned there, Yokozuna. Yokozuna surely is the greatest comeback of all time. When he come back when he was dead, and it wasn't even him. It was someone else. Yeah,
dead in Saudi Arabia. Fucking
you
hell.
can't top that return right there.
No,
that's great.
Return from the dead. They'll bring him back again to counter program all out. He's going to be a wrestling Palooza. They're going to weekend at Birdie's Yokozuna.
Fucking.
I know I said CM Punk earlier, but like one that kind of like got me emotional a little bit was when Edge returned. I think 2020 Royal Rumble.
That was cool, man. That was a good moment.
I mean, listen, like that was 9 years after he had to retire because of his neck. He had the broken neck, the spinal fusion. Like I thought it was legitimately, like that's why I pop every time when I see him live now. Like because I didn't see him live I didn't get to see him live when I was a kid, when I was younger. So yeah, I mean, him coming back in the Rumble and like you could just see the general emotion on his face. Like he had to do his best to keep it up. And I remember like it for whatever reason, the freaking WWE cameras, they messed up so badly on his return that they had to show the other footage the following day on YouTube of his entrance and then him hitting the spear on Dolph Ziggler and AJ and all of them. Like, but it was dope like seeing him come back though.
That's a good one actually, Christian's fucking AEW debut was a fucking great one for me. Being a huge fucking Christian mark.
Oh, yeah. If we could have just debuts, not returns, then the night that Adam Cole and Bryan Danielson debut is the absolute top pinnacle for me. That surpasses Punk for me.
So I think, that's probably my favorite pay-per-view of all time. So
top 5 for me, but yeah.
Essentially, we've agreed that AJ Lee wasn't the greatest return in wrestling history by not by a long way, but by some way. There's quite a few we can throw out without even really thinking about it, which is mad because you wouldn't really think wrestling fans would be so over the top like that, would you? I mean, it was only 6 months ago when John Cena's heel turn was the greatest heel turn of all time
ever, and that's
nothing comes close to it
ever since. Not a blip.
Yeah, it is clearly the greatest
as well.
Of all time.
You can tell that it's gone well. They haven't pivoted.
When you said to watch, and let's see how it plays out. No, it's the greatest of all time. Okay. There's a good segue into the next topic because, like, one return that happened at the 2700 arena, whatever is that what it's called?
2300.
2300. My head's mashed. One return that happened there was one that I probably wouldn't rank as one of the greatest returns of all time, and that was Hook.
Yeah, the hooker is back.
I'm the only hooker in the group.
Do you actually like the fucking bat signal thing though as well? Because
Yes,
I find that
it's
like
a fucking
terrible.
bat
It's like
signal. How do you not like it?
send
Just get
hook.
inside,
Oh no!
fucking robot.
Imagine being in a death ride and you're like, oh no, hook's
It's the
coming.
hook
Whatever
signal.
will we do?
They're called the Death Riders. Mox has come out with bloody comic book dog muzzles. He marks out every time he sees that.
I'm not about that. I'm just
He
saying, like, the
dresses
fear
regular.
of them. They see that you see the bat signal, and you'd
It's a
shit
symbol,
yourself.
Andy. Have you not seen Batman?
You see the hook signal, and you're like, oh god, all right. Anyone got to
It's a
take in
symbol of
suplexes?
fear. I'm going to make you
You
watch
turn and
Batman
run
and
when you see the
understand.
hook
As a comic
signal.
bookmark, as a mark for comic books, yes, I like it. Some people have no whimsy in their soul.
Well, the point around the arena anyway was, do you guys?
The arena.
Because I do feel like this. Do you guys feel like the residency is a little bit too long, and it's starting
Yes.
to wear a bit
it is too
thin?
long. It should have been a week.
Do you feel like
it should have been a week in Ring of Honor.
I feel like it's affecting the show. I do. I feel like it's not necessarily my enjoyment of the show, but just the feel of the show feels slightly different because it's just there every week now, and it kind of. I don't want to fucking say this, but I'm going to anyway. But the dickheads are going to love this. But it's starting to feel like Impact, to a certain extent. Just not what happens, but like just the look of the show. You know, yeah. I'm not a fan of as a one-off, like a 1 week. Yeah, fucking great. I've enjoyed all the ones they've done, these great arenas. But for doing like a month or whatever it is, no, not for me.
Yeah, I'm going to say it was too long, not because of the arena itself, just staying in the same place for too long makes it feel not so much like Dynamite. I think it's because of how long they were at Daly's place during the pandemic. Having it in one place for all that time, it's kind of it's this again. I like them being in a different. I don't mind a Collision and a Dynamite in the same place. But I think any arena, not just the 2300, which I think is a great little arena. I love it. I love the look of it. But I would say that about absolutely anywhere, unless it was like in my back garden. Then yeah, agreed. Bit too long.
I think you're probably right. It probably isn't just that venue itself. I think it's probably just because it's the same place. It's feeling the same every week.
Yeah.
It looks so small time there. It really does, man. Like it's fucking tight. Look, again, I've enjoyed it, but again, I think a Dynamite, Collision, and Ring of Honor would have sufficed. I was having a look through the ticket sales. They've gone back. They're not selling well for the next few shows. Apart from go to Toronto. When they leave America, they're selling well. But when they're in the States, like they've got They've got a Collision in a few weeks. That are like it's like 5 weeks away. They've sold under 400 tickets. So yeah, I don't know. They need to be mindful.
I think he needs to start putting out the. Do you ever remember like when they'd announce a match 2 or 3 weeks in advance?
Yeah.
And they did this for quite a lot during like 2001, 2002, where they maybe a big main event and they'd say, we're going to have this Dynamite in fucking 3 weeks, or whatever. I'd like to see him go back to doing that a bit more. Give Hangman a fucking good title defense on a fucking Dynamite in whatever,
Yeah.
Back then though, they didn't have as many pay-per-views. They only had 4 a year. So that's why they're throwing the big matches. We'll announce this few weeks. Go on, Mark.
It doesn't have to be a big match. It's just an announcement of some matches, I don't know,
that's
just to give people something to look forward to.
Because you know what's coming a few weeks in advance.
That's it. Well, that's it. We know when they're in the UK, we know we're going to have some fucking cracking matches because it's Continental Classic week. So we know on each Dynamite and Collision we're going to get 2, possibly 3 fucking brilliant 20-minute matches.
And the tickets are flying. Yeah, that it makes a difference.
So right, my thing is with AEW, look, the ticket sales again. They're going to smaller venues because they weren't selling. They know they can get 3,500 for Dynamite. They know they'll get probably about 500 to 1,000 less for Collision. I keep racking not racking my brains. I'm not spending that much time on it, but thinking like the shows are from people that seem to be watching both shows. AEW shows are significantly better from an in-ring point of view, from a story point of view, from a structuring point of view than WWE's have been in 2025. WWE is selling better crowds than they have done for well over a decade now. Why is that? What's the logic when the shows are regularly getting panned? Why AEWs are regularly getting lauded? The big thing is that it's a star power thing, isn't it? People aren't paying because they think they're going to go and get these amazing matches or storylines. They're going to see John Cena. They're going to see CM Punk. They're going to see Roman Reigns. Hell, they're even going to see probably Cody Rhodes now. They're going for the marquee names. AEW don't have those kind of larger than life superhero characters because it's more, there's again, the more sports presentation side of things. So I think that, I mean, I've said this before, and I think it's something they really should be doing because, again, I don't care about ratings. They're pointless, they're meaningless. People stream. People don't watch on fucking cable anymore. It's 2025. What I think they should be doing is I think they should be doing Collision from these quirky venues, the 300. They should be doing it from Jacksonville. They should be doing it from the place in Detroit they did it from. The one in Boston they do it. The amphitheaters. Do it through those. Do the Collisions there when you're going to get 1,200, 1,500 in. Dynamite should be rotating the big cities all the time and getting 5,000 in for these shows so the whole lower tier is filled. Because if you're rotating a couple of places in New York, you're doing the West Coast, you're doing the places you know you're going to get the bigger crowds, your Memphis, you're doing 5 or 6 abroad a year, 3 or 4 in Canada as well, 1 or 2 in Mexico, 1 in Australia. You should not be having Dynamite shows, your marquee show, when you've got small crowds, because it does make it feel small time. And yeah, keep Collision quirky and go bigger scale. I think like this, like you don't need to be going to Florida's notoriously shit crowds for AEW. They don't sell well there. They've got like 3 successive shows there in a few weeks. Right? Lakeside, where the fuck is Lakeside, Florida? Who gives a fuck about Lakeside, fucking Florida? It's like when they go to what's our favorite place in Washington. I'm never gonna Spokane. What are you going to these places for? Fuck this. Go to Atlanta. Go to Houston. Go to San Antonio. Go to the places where you know you're going to get good crowds in. You can sell the tickets at a reasonable price. Get 5,000 in. Fuck going to these silly little places so often. No offense to people from there, but yeah.
No, I was gonna say real quick, like you talk about like doing the bigger arenas, but it's like here in New York, like I think specifically with the Barclays Center, I think WWE has an exclusive deal with Barclays, if I'm correct. So like as far as the bigger venues here in the States, like depending on where they're at, we don't know that WWE might have an exclusive like rights to those arenas that we're unaware of. Like I know here in New York, I believe it's Barclays Center, Madison Square Garden. I wouldn't be surprised if it's both the big arenas if I'm correct. But like I said, we don't know the, like let's say like in LA, Chicago, or like Miami, Orlando, or anything like that, like where WWE might have exclusivity for like the bigger arenas. But I just think like the past 3 weeks, like with the residency, it's 3 weeks, I think is too long. I think a week, 2 weeks would have been just fine. I also just think like from a logistics standpoint, you know, maybe it was decided as far as like just availability and the other venues that he wanted to try, because I could imagine as far as like the perfect arenas for AEW to run, like that are 2, 3, 3,500 seat venues, like maybe, you know, it may not be just that long of a list that we think of like the major venues are. So maybe like just months out, he saw the landscape and what was available, and you know what, he probably just said, let's just cut a loss, like these 3 weeks, like just a regroup phase right here. So it could finish out the year better along, like as far as booking the events. Because like I said, maybe I would assume it's 3 weeks because based on availability during this time of year, it's late August, beginning of September. So there's other stuff that are starting up with the venues are ongoing as well. Maybe that's what it is. Because I think there's talks about that they're going to run Hammerstein later in December. And I remember last year when they did it, I think it was literally just that week. If I remember, I think it was they did Dynamite, Collision, and I forgot the Ring of Honor pay-per-view. I went to that and Collision, but it was just a week straight. So I'm just gonna chalk it up. It's a very rarity. Like I know they did this, and then they did the San Antonio Arena last year before All In. I think it was like a week or two that they did over there. So it's a very rarity. So I don't look at it as a big deal. But 3 weeks is way too long in my opinion.
It's a rarity, but
as
it
long
does.
as you're only doing it once a year, I suppose that's fine. And I wouldn't mind if they did it somewhere close to me. I'd be thrilled. So it's probably hypocritical of me to say no, don't. But yeah, 3 weeks too long, definitely.
It's like you say, it's a rarity, but it doesn't change it for me as a viewer, and it does affect it slightly. And I disagree with what you were saying there, Mark, about the people going for the star power in WWE. I think they just go for the name value. I think there's a good 60% of the people who go to those shows who go just because it's WWE, because
they weren't going before. That's the thing,
and this is always going to be the
Even in early 2022, they weren't going. In 2021, they were getting like 5,000-6,000 for their shows. Before the pandemic, they were down to like 4,000 for a lot of the Raws and SmackDowns. when they didn't have any. They didn't
Yeah,
have
but
CM Punk. Reigns
what
was
I
a
mean is
joke
though,
back then.
the buzz around wrestling in general though has picked up, and I feel like they are it's the default for wrestling for a lot of people. And I mean, you go out wearing a fucking wrestling t-shirt, or you go to a wrestling event and people go, "Oh, you've been to WWE." And you're like, "No, fuck you." You punch them in the nose, but then you actually kind of realize that a lot of people actually do look like this.
Yeah.
And they do, and it's like the old kind of meme joke, whatever it is, where someone's nan would see them playing a PlayStation, they'd be like, "Oh, you're playing Nintendo," like that's what it is, and and now that's probably changed to PlayStation, but maybe that's where AEW is, where over time they just need to just slowly chip away and not kind of worry too much about this. And I mean, like the perfect example is Tekla this week when she spoke about the fact that like as she was kind of watching wrestling when she was getting into it like 6 years ago, whatever. AEW was the one she was so excited about, and she wanted to join. And I guess you need a generation of people to come up feeling this way, just to build up. Like I'm sure the star names will have an effect, but then so would like John Moxley, Hangman Adam Page, and
Adam
Will
Cole,
Ospreay. So will all these, but they're also, and they're also fighting unfortunately at the same time as this, fighting the battle of the fact that AEW, a lot of people still just don't know what AEW is. They think wrestling is WWE or
That's gonna
WWF.
take a
To a lot
long
of
time
people,
to change, I think.
it is.
It doesn't
It's
matter
the
what
l-
AEW do; it will take a while.
100%. Yeah.
It's the long game, and like Mark said, think of the names that Mark just said. He said John Cena, he said CM Punk, he said Roman Reigns, he said Cody. For certain, Cena's done at the end of the year. I mean, Roman is not even a part-timer. He's a super part-timer at this point. So imagine Cena's gone at this year. Roman might be, I think, will be Hollywood bound like full-time in a year or two. I think
That's a
AJ
bunch of films
Lee's
I will watch.
contract is just going to be as long as CM Punk's, because they said she signed a multi-year contract. I wouldn't be surprised if it coincides right alongside with Punk. So let's say Punk, let's just hypothetically, this is his last contract, 2-3 years, Punk, and then Cena, and then Reigns. The next 3 to 4 years, they could realistically be out of WWE on a full time basis. And then like I said, I don't watch the product full time, but I do watch from afar. Like, where is that next crop of superstars coming up for WWE? Like, what besides Dom Mysterio and Braun Breaker? Like those, who else? Like, and that's the men's division.
Ricky
the
fucking
women's
Saints.
Oh,
Ricky
yeah.
Saints. But no, I was gonna say the
Rusev.
women,
Alexis King, come on.
the women of WWE, they don't have a problem with that. They have superstars up and down the roster, like old, young, and they're good for that for a decade plus. It's the men's side that I'm like, that's why they're sending freaking Rusev back down to NXT on NXT house shows to face Ricky Saints and Obafemi, because like that roster is thin as hell right now. So I think it is the long game. Like they're gonna over time they'll slowly start chipping away.
Loads of these
Ethan Page.
guys, man. You've got fucking loads. Danhausen gonna be there soon, man. The Lizard Man. They've got fucking loads.
Come on, build the company around the Lizard. But yeah, I obviously Vince is a cunt. There we go. I got the first one in. Ha! Think fast on it. Yeah, Vince is a cunt.
Well, he's a fucking
But
cunt.
one thing he could do was build a company around a big name. From Hulk Hogan onwards, he would have a massive star. My language is offended. Poor Mark, he's gone. But yeah, but Triple H doesn't do that. We all know Triple H is mostly coasting on the stories that he has inherited. But there are only so many Samoans in the world. Eventually, he's going to run out of Samoans. He can't just be hanging around at maternity wards with a net to catch them as they pop out. He will run out.
He already ran out. He already ran out of Samoans. That's why he's
Samoa
bringing.
Empty. Have we checked? Have we checked everywhere in Samoa? Yeah.
There's only one Samoa. There's only one Samoa.
He doesn't care. He'll find someone that looks vague. I mean, he claimed Yokozuna was Japanese, for God's sake. Like, Vince. They're not fussy. But yeah, Triple H isn't making huge stars. Whether it's an ego thing that he doesn't want men to become bigger than him.
I think it's what Bret Hart said. I think he just hasn't got he's a fucking moron. He's never had an idea of his own. I do think that. I feel like Bret Hart said it, and like it's one of them throwaway comments. But the more you look at it, every idea that he's had that's a success is one that and I remember Bret pointing this out ages ago. It's all the stuff that Vince was doing beforehand. He's just kind of carried on with, and with no Vince, people suddenly look at it slightly differently, even though it's exactly the fucking same.
Yeah.
When Triple H took over, he had the Bloodline, the Judgment Day, and the Rise of Rhea Ripley. And the Dom Mysterio's heel turn when he turned on Ray, he had those three things right there, and he ran with it. That's why all three of those things are still going on 3+ years later, and now the bloodline. There's different bloodline factions in WWE right now because he can't just break away from it because there's nothing new on the horizon coming back besides the bringing back the nostalgia.
Well, he's brought back the
The
Wyatt
nostalgia,
Six.
bringing back all the nostalgia and everything, and like, okay, you bring back AJ Lee. The question now is, who's next? Do you bring back for the sake of nostalgia? Like, who else are you going to bring back? Like,
Haku.
Haku. Repo
Bring
Man.
Haku
Simon
back.
Miller's been asking for decades now. Give
Yeah,
him
fucking Repo Man would probably be a great
Haku.
Intercontinental title champion at this point.
Who else? He's got to be trying for Jericho.
I fucking hope not.
No, I don't want Jericho to go. I mean, if
He's
Jericho's
a
pretty
trolling
much
fuck
done
Jericho,
wrestling,
to be honest.
then
He's a trolling cunt though, because like people got all this because he put a thing on his Instagram about the Fed, and like someone had said, but he's also putting loads of AEW things on. I think he's like, I think if he is going back, I don't think he's actually fucking decided anything yet. I think he's just hedging his bets and keeping his name, because he put one on today of like, of him in the old New York fucking gear as a hint of, hey, maybe it's me. Big Bill's calling out. It's like he's just, I think he's just
fishing.
he looks like he's just having fun going to gigs and shit at the moment. He's posting pictures with Paul McCartney and fucking Metallica and doing more Fozzy gigs and that. Like, I don't think he gives a fuck. And he looks in great shape as well, to be honest. If he does come back for a good run wherever he goes, he'll probably have a fucking good last run anyway.
Yeah.
but
He's lost
Triple
a
H has
lot
got
of
to be
weight,
trying
like.
for him, because not only is Jericho a big name,
100% they will be,
he
yeah.
can also create his own stories, and he's a smart guy. He knows wrestling.
And I'd be disappointed if he goes, just because when I do listen to him talk, it's always been an us versus them thing. He talk, the way he does it, and he always, like, the way he talks about Tony Khan as a boss is glowing all the time, and he's defended him to the hilt. So it would be sad if he does go. I know a lot of people are a bit done with him in ring and stuff. I still think there's a little bit he can offer, and he's not been a fucking main eventer for like fucking 3 years. He's been a mid-carder at best.
He's
It's not
on
like
telly
he's
for
been
10
hogging the
seconds,
title.
and people start screaming,
I
get him off
know.
my TV.
They talk like he's hogging the fucking title. He had the Ring of Honor title, and we all assumed that was because they were trying to get a TV deal. But he was waiting to drop it to Bandido for ages. It wasn't his fault. Bandido fucking knocked himself out. I mean, Bandido probably would have took it a good 2 months earlier if it wasn't for that.
It's funny, like, cause bringing that up though, I know
That was the one, by the way, in the what's it called, the old ECW joint. That was the one you were talking about before when you said to be there for 3 weeks. Ring of Honor pay-per-view. That was the one. Bandido's return. Jericho and Matt Cardona won it.
Yes. Mm-hmm. That was good. But I was gonna say, like, it's kind of weird in a roundabout way. Maybe that was the best thing for Bandito. Like, knocked himself out. Like, he waited a couple more months, because you look at the timing from when he won the belt at Dynasty, and then this incredible run that he's had since then. Like, if that would have happened a couple of months earlier, maybe who knows if it's still going on as strong as it is right now. But I mean, like, this dude he's set up for future success. Like, if and when he does drop the title in the future, I mean, he's going to be a future main event star, like in AEW. I say, if not by next year, the year after that.
On the Jericho stuff, the only thing, I mean, I was going to talk about this at the end, wasn't I? But I'll just go straight into it now, because
we'll do it.
relative to this. But like the Big Bill stuff, that's the only thing that's really disappointed me. Is he was so fucking hot at one point, like 8 months ago, 10 months ago, whatever. They should have pulled the trigger. Should have made the turn then, and unfortunately they sat on Big Bill. And I think you said earlier before we start recording that this is something they do rotate people in and out, but I feel like sometimes it's the wrong time. Like, he was so fucking hot at that time, he was over as fuck, and even when they did give it a bit of time and they come back, do you remember when he had the match with Hobbs? And like, again, he was still so fucking over, and we were all waiting for this big turn, and he was going to have a great face run because the crowd reactions were incredible, and they did nothing. And then now they're really like, kind of 6 months after that, when he's on TV, and I love Big Bill, but he's on TV and most people probably go, oh, fucking hell, I forgot Big Bill was still here. Like, and now they're really going to blow Eddie Kingston on this. It can't be the case. They can't fucking do that. Please don't be Eddie. Please don't be Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston can't be this New York. Is Disco Inferno from New York? I'd rather it be Disco Inferno than fucking Eddie Kingston.
Why would you put that in the world?
No.
Why would you put that evil on us?
No, honestly, I don't. Obviously, I don't want that to happen, but I just don't want Eddie Kingston's return to be wasted on such a nothing moment. And again, and it felt so thrown together last week, didn't it? You know, oh, I'm from New York. There's another New Yorker runs about Eddie Kingston. It's like, what? Like we've all been waiting for like a year, expecting Eddie Kingston to come back and save the world, not just come back and beat Big Bill. I don't know. It feels strange to me, and like, and that tied in with the disappointment of how Big Bill's been handled, because I was so excited about a Big Bill. Fucking, I can't even fucking talk now. A Big Bill run. Yes,
I think it's a misdirection that they're playing.
It has to be.
I think it's a misdirection,
to trust,
and I think it's gonna play in to the coffin match at All Out between Darby and Mox, because obviously coffin match. No disqualification.
Eddie Kingston's in the coffin.
You know, holy
with his ice
shit,
cream.
he's in the coffin. Oh my
Where's
God.
a can of fucking gas? Yes. We've cracked the case.
Holy
we've cracked
shit.
The Da Vinci Code.
No fire god.
Well, we need fire. Oh my God. Do you remember last year at Double or Nothing when obviously when Jack Perry got set on fire? Like I remember Eddie putting like a meme on online. Like I guess he asked Tony in the past, like he wanted to use fire, and Tony he put the cartoon like no, and then you see Eddie just sitting at home like mad, like seeing Darby using the flamethrower. Like
right, we have to explain this now because Mark is back. We've cracked the Da Vinci Code, right? Big Bill is not calling out Eddie Kingston. He is, but it's misdirection. Eddie Kingston is going to come back in the coffin match. He's going to be in the coffin with a can of gas, and he's going to set Jon Moxley on fire.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't turn it down. I'd be quite happy.
Ooh,
yeah, that would be amazing
Scotiabank Arena
if he appeared in the coffin match and the Big Bill thing was just to remind people Eddie's coming back, so you should watch. But do we have to burn people to death every time?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, you know we do.
And the misdirection. So if we're going to all agree that it can't be Eddie Kingston, because Tony is not going to waste Eddie Kingston on a nothing match of that. Who's it going to be? Who's going to come back? New Yorker. Please not Hook. Anyone else?
I'm going to say it might be Eddie Kingston in the case that he comes out, does squashes, and then says, "Mox, watch your back."
I feel like that ruins the return for me personally. I don't know who else is from New York. There's got to be fucking loads, man.
All the Long
Chris
Island
Jericho's from New
guys.
York. That'll fucking take that. Max Caster. Fuck yes.
I know, I was joking. Andy, I was joking.
Oh yeah.
Please don't have Bill kill Max Caster.
Max ran away because I said Jericho and you said Max Caster.
Max
Caster I'd take, yeah.
Just keep in mind, just keep this in mind when you're watching the coffin match. If there's a point where obviously Claudio and Yuta, if there's a point where Gabe Kidd comes out to help in the match, like because remember it was Gabe Kidd.
Oh God, and Eddie sees Gabe Kidd and Claudio at once.
Oh,
okay, then he can have fire.
I think Wrestler Mark has vanished because he thinks we're on, after coming back and hearing that theory, he thinks we're on the same drugs as Moe's, thinking that the Death Riders are going to be faces within 6 months.
If they are, we're
Takeshita's going to be leading the Death Riders. That was it, was it? Takeshita's going to be, sorry Moe's, but this was fucking nuts. Takeshita's going to lead the Death Riders. They're going to be faces within 6 months, feuding with the Don Callis family.
What?
Okay.
I love you, Mose, but it's a little over the top. But
I think he'd do a job.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's a misdirection. It's got to be respect to Big Bill, but respectfully, no, it cannot be him.
Daniel Garcia.
I think it is Eddie, but it's a squash, and then he calls out Mox.
I think that ruins it for me if it does. I think the surprise is gone then. Daniel Garcia. Give me Daniel Garcia.
He's from Buffalo.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, I'll take that.
Chris Statlander.
Yeah, it's a misdirection.
I know
I'm going with that.
Who is it? Oh God.
Edge's wife is from New York.
Beth Phoenix.
Oh, Beth Phoenix.
Imagine that. These are all. See, these things are all. This is how bad it is that I will take anyone. Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Give me that. He'll fucking destroy Big Bill.
He's busy with Brisco. He should be on his honeymoon by then. Come on, bloody Alicia. Congratulations to them, by the way.
Oh, so actually, perfect segue.
Fuck.
What's up?
Bubba Ray Dudley is Bubba Ray Dudley is a cunt, but he's also from New York.
Bubba Ray Dudley is a cunt.
Oh my God!
I didn't have anything else to add. I just wanted to emphasise.
Oh my God!
Andy, no, please.
We've been worked.
Yeah.
Guess where that someone who's recently been released is from?
Is it Karrion Kross?
Karrion Kross is from New York. And he's been
Andy.
running his mouth.
Andy.
Fuck, we've done it. We've cracked it.
Andy.
I ain't going to be watching this if it is.
Andy.
He can get to
I think
fuck.
it's really important that you stop.
Tommy Dreamer, Jim Duggan,
Oh,
Mark Miro. Could be Mark Miro. Just come and do a talk, you know. Just
With Sable.
Chris Statlander's from New York.
Yeah,
yeah.
I would take that, actually. I think that, Joe, that's why I want to see more than any of them.
Okay, now you're just listing wrestlers that you found on the internet, and
Yeah, he did. Well, I
Oh
mean,
my
so,
God, last
could
one,
be
last one,
anyone.
last one. He comes out and Big Bill face him. Where's the lie?
oh my God.
Bobby fucking Fish.
Bobby Fish.
I think I'd rather Big Bill squash him, to be honest, than they just move on from that.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's loads, but the bottom line is, it is Karrion Kross. We've cracked the code. Yeah, that's going to be an
we-
anticlimax.
and it's Andy
Well, I've cracked the code. I don't know what Mo's put in my drink, but thank you very much.
I'm going to clip that, Andy, and I'm just going to have you listing every New York wrestler over and over while we just die in the background.
Absolutely.
I genuinely do hope
Dan,
it's
it's
Chris
for you.
Jericho. I think Chris Jericho would be probably my favourite out of all of them to return. I wouldn't say no to Matt Cardona. I really wouldn't. You know, I don't know.
Thing is, though,
What-
the crowd will be there expecting Eddie Kingston, and if it's not,
It can't be Eddie. It's such a waste.
it's
It's such a
Eddie.
waste.
But it's Eddie building up to something at All Out, so we know we're getting him at All Out. That's what they need. That's Tony.
you-
Tony Khan has basically said, counter-program these nuts because
Yeah, but,
he's
like, they
bringing
can-
Eddie Kingston.
They can talk about him, but you spoil the fucking surprise. Like, I mean, you know, imagine if like what big returns has there been? Like, you know, imagine like Darby. We all knew Darby was coming back at All In, but imagine if he turned up Dynamite the week before and was just kind of, you
But
know,
we
having a
don't
match
know that
against
Eddie's
someone. It
coming back
wouldn't
at
have
All
affected
Out.
it.
If we hadn't done this, we knew Darby was coming
Yeah,
back.
but what I'm-
we don't know that Eddie is until
But
the
that's what I'm saying though. It will ruin the big surprise at the match when you know of him coming back, and you're blowing something that would be amazing for a pay-per-view, and you know, one of these moments that everyone seems to talk about lately, and it would be a fucking moment. We would all lose our shit when Eddie Kingston come back. For him to just come out to his music normally and have a match, it doesn't do it for me. No, I feel like
That's why it's not going to happen. I tell you, classic misdirection right there.
We'll see.
It's
Either way, whether
misdirection.
they keep it for All Out or they have him make an appearance and do something, they have to let. I don't think they make it a surprise. They have to let people know he will be at All Out if they want people to buy based on him.
I think they have enough anyway, to be honest, for it to I mean, like, it's All Out. It's in fucking Canada, you know. Like the Christian and Edge thing is gonna fucking, it's gonna sell
Well,
anyway,
yeah.
isn't it? Like it will. I mean, it
Yeah.
will. Like
It
as
is,
much as
but they're
people want to
trying
bitch
to
about
sell-
Edge.
Buy like pay-per-view buys as well as tickets.
Yeah, I think they will anyway. They'll do decent numbers. They won't do as big a numbers if they've done for the last couple of pay-per-views, but it'll be slightly under. But it always is.
I think it'd be well under.
Maybe because we're burnt
Yeah.
out at this point.
that
No,
coffin
because
op-
WWE's on the same day.
Oh,
that
no, I don't
coffin
think that-
opens up.
I don't think that makes much of a difference because
Mad
they're not
King.
pay-per-views, are they? They're PLEs, and it's on a different time now. Even if they stick NXT on at that time, it ain't going to make a difference. No one's going to watch NXT. Apart from them cunts who were standing outside that merch shop with Mariah May the other day looking like bellends.
Ah,
I don't even know where to start with that. But I mean, I think I feel a bit sorry for the people that are getting laughed at. But
That was
The
so
fuck?
smooth, by the way.
Hmm.
That was so smooth.
But,
You literally just
What the
returned them
fuck?
straight into.
Yeah, that
what were they? What I don't know. Like people putting it online, you must realize they're going to be really badly received, man. Like it was uncomfortable. Like I actually did a tweet about it taking the piss, and I felt a bit bad after. I'm like I felt a bit bad for taking the piss, but I was like, no, it was so cringe and so weird.
fuck
It
them.
kind of deserved it.
100%. It was just, but what the fuck were they doing? Like that guy dancing and stuff. It's like, and the shit he was saying, you're like, man, come on.
Yeah, exactly. It was too much.
matter of fact, it was just him. If you go back and look at the video, it was just him. Nobody was joining in with him.
It's
like,
the
that's
noise
just
they're all
vicious.
making. It's
Yeah,
killing
nobody
me, man.
else was
That's
joining in. It was
the-
just that
yeah.
dude,
right.
literally.
Booker
And
T
that's what makes it
encourages
even
this shit,
more
though, man.
I think
embarrassing.
we're
Like,
talking about there was two different incidents. There was the one where the guy was like serenading her, but then there was one where she was in the car park with them.
Yeah, it's the same dude.
Is it the same guy?
Yeah. Well, they were singing the same song, so with that, I'm not even going to repeat the way they were doing it because it was just.
He should be fucking locked up. He seriously should be. And the worst thing is, Booker T encourages this shit.
Yeah.
The man's a
It's the
fucking
NXT Gooner fan base down there,
yeah.
man, in
Check Booker
Florida.
T's fucking hard drive, man.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
In fact, I wouldn't want to check it. It'd be fucking. Oh god, I don't
Yeah.
want to know what's on there.
Mark, I don't know if you heard while you were out, like what did you think of the my idea? Like, you know, we heard Big Bill call out Eddie Kingston, but I said that's a distraction right there. That's a classic misdirection. It ain't gonna be Big Bill against Eddie Kingston. They're not wasting, with all the respect to Big Bill, they're not wasting his return, Kingston's return on Big Bill. I think he comes back at All Out during the coffin match between Darby and Mox.
I think we're just hoping for the best here when it's going to be Big Bill. I don't see any purpose in them doing what they did. I would much prefer that. But that is out of desperation. I prefer most things. I don't want to. And again, as Andy said, like I really like Big Bill. They called him off. They called him off back. They didn't just call him off. They froze him. And so I don't have any interest in seeing Eddie Kingston. I want Eddie Kingston to return straight away involved with Mox, because I want him to be probably the one that is a crucial part of the Death Riders being vanquished at the end of this year, because I think this can go to a World's End and be really good, because the stories, well, Moxley especially is red hot at the moment. And then I want Eddie Kingston to be a big part of John Moxley's redemption arc as he comes back. That's what I want him to be. I don't want him to do anything else. But then the funny thing is, like, I mean, when I thought of this straight away, when I saw Big Bill, I remember when Daniel Bryan came back from retirement in 2018. And he had his big match with Shane and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, because that was a big story on SmackDown. And then he went straight into a feud with Big Bill and had a match of Backlash with him. And it was just random as fuck. And it just seemed, people clearly like Big Bill. They want to give him the rub. And it's nothing against Big Bill, because I think he's really entertaining. I think if he was given the right kind of pushes, he would be far higher up the card than he is. But he's not. He's where he is. And it just feels like a really, really underwhelming thing with Eddie Kingston. And yes, it will be good if he comes back in that match, but I don't see it being anything other than I think Tony Khan sees it as a selling point for the pay-per-view. The Big Bill will come out and Eddie Kingston either call him out or it'll be an official match. And I think we'll get Eddie Kingston's official return on pay-per-view. And I don't like the fact they've essentially announced it beforehand.
That's exactly what I said. They're going to have him on All Out, but I think they do need to announce it beforehand if they want to sell it on his name, if you want people to buy to see Eddie.
If they're going to do that, I'd much rather than do some little videos or something of Eddie saying he's coming back, rather than have him have a match with Big Bill. I just feel that's such a waste. Like, I love Big Bill, I do, but like the guy, like I said, he's frozen right now. It's completely pointless. Whereas like 10 months ago, the dude was over as fuck. Like it's, I don't know, man. I don't know. It just feels a bit.
I've learned to give them the benefit of the doubt. Because 99 times out of 100, it works out in a way I didn't expect. I always think I've got it, and I haven't. I never have.
There was a few things this week that just felt off to me. That was one of them. The other one was like the fact that the last couple of weeks, Hangman, they've completely taken the focus off the world champion, which I feel like as a wrestling weekly show, the focus should be on what is deemed the most important thing in the company, and that's the world title, both the men's and the women's. And the women's has had the focus taken off it as well, to the point where Tony's been involved in a lot of these multi-man matches or multi-women matches, whatever, and then randomly they go, okay, we're gonna have a four-way with these, and there just wasn't much build to it at all. It was just like, oh fuck, we got 2 weeks left, we better fucking throw a match out.
Do you know what? I in isolation, I loved this week. I really enjoyed this week, but this show would have been, because I genuinely get your point, because we're 2 weeks after my pay-per-view and it feels that the two key matches, the title matches, are now being shoehorned into the card. Yeah, this kind of Dynamite and Collision would have been absolutely fucking perfect when you have 4, 5, 6 pay-per-views a year. When you're doing the near monthly cycles now, you don't have time for these. Like, look, the episode, like the matches were great. I loved it. But when
matches are always great.
2 weeks, you got All Out 2 weeks away. Like, you need, like, I do not want to see Hangman v Carl Fletcher. I have no interest in it. It's going to be a great match. That, for me, the thing I probably hate more than anything in pay-per-view history is champion v champion when only one title's on the line, because it couldn't be more fucking obvious who's going to win the match. Like, I remember Survivor Series 92, it stuck in my head, Brett v Shawn. I was just getting out of wrestling at this point. The first time you grow up and grow out of wrestling when you're 9 years old. Or how I'm a bit younger than that. But yeah, they had Brett v Shawn at Survivor Series. Brett was IC champ. Brett was world champ. It was so obvious that Brett was going to win. Why are you bothered doing it? And it feels like this now. Yes, it's going to be a really good match. It'll probably be a 5-star match. But why? It's so pointless. It's so pointless. And it does nothing for Carl Fletcher, does nothing for the TNT title. And they've shoehorned it in there. Maybe they were waiting. I don't know. Maybe Kenny's who knows? Hopefully something becomes a bit more clear this week. The challenge hasn't been accepted yet. I really hope it's not Hangman v Carl Fletcher, because, as Andy said, they've kind of fucked up the build to All Out by focusing on the show specifically rather than the bigger picture.
I'd much rather it be like, if they can possibly do this. I'm like I said, they haven't focused on the most important prize in the company. They much still since the last pay-per-view. So with that, being the case, I would much rather them just go Hangman and Kenny versus the Bucks. I don't fucking care if there's no story to that one. You can just give me anyway, and I'll take it every day of the fucking week. Whether Kenny's all right and well enough to do the match, I don't know. But that is one match that if you gave me with no story, I wouldn't give a fuck. I'd take that every single show in that fucking 2300 arena forever. I'd even have Hook in the crowd watching as well, and it wouldn't affect my enjoyment. Put the Hook signal up, wouldn't bother me.
Well, like Martin just said though, like the match hasn't been announced yet, so I don't know. I feel like something's gonna come out that we're not expecting.
Do you know what it was? The week before last, it felt there was a tantalizing selection of options of matches we can get. I'm like, are we still going to get Moxie v Darby with a fucked up stipulation? Yes, we're getting that. With everyone at the Twine, I'm thinking, what's the best case scenario here? Takeshita beats Brisco, then turns around to Fletcher and says, well, I'm having you then. Or Okada costs him the match. Then you have Brisco v Fletcher for the TNT title. You can then have Takeshita v Okada, and Fletcher v Brisco. And then Hangman v Kenny. And suddenly on paper, you're looking at an all-timer pay-per-view. Instead, you're now thinking, is Takeshita going to be on the card? Is Kenny going to be on the card? Is Okada going to be on the card? Are the Bucks going to be on the card? And when you've lost a few of your main event players as it is, when you've got no Danielson, you've got no Swerve, you've got no Ospreay, it just feels like an unnecessary direction they've taken, in my opinion.
And I agree with that. But what you just said there, I am still hoping, and hopefully we'll all be kind of, all of us who are saying this will look like fucking idiots in the weekend, and it's not Hangman against Fletcher, and Takeshita maybe in the week says, "Whoa, what the fuck are you doing? This, you've got my fucking title shot there, lad."
Yeah.
Put that on the card and just give us that, like Takeshita, and you could have Fletcher win that with some interference or something. It doesn't fucking matter, and that would strengthen the Takeshita feeling like he's being forced out or replaced. With
do you know how much I look forward to Fletcher? Do you know how much I look forward? Like, again, some matches when they're foregone conclusions to whatever. I mean, I don't think it's a foregone, but it's a very probable winner. I don't mind it. Like Hangman MJF at Full Gear at Forbidden Door, I was still really looking forward to it. If it's Fletcher against Takeshita, I would assume pretty convincingly we're going to have a retention of the title. But I would look forward to that match so much. Hangman v Fletcher, it's going to be an amazing match. I just don't care.
That's the thing, that's what, like I said, though, like I very rarely have any criticisms. As I said to you guys before, my only major criticism I've had in the last couple of years really was stats turning face overnight randomly. This week just felt a little bit like they took the foot off the gas, and a few of the things felt thrown together for me. A few of the stories aren't there that they were pushing. And like hopefully, come Wednesday, a few of these things they kind of put into place, and it fixes any of the issues I had. Because like match wise, I know they're always going to be good matches, regardless of who it is. They're always going to be good matches. I mean, fucking the example I gave you there, stat turning face overnight. That was because we've not got an appointment for Mercedes. I know, and then Stats like, I'm good now, and it was the best women's match I've ever seen. It was the best women's match I've ever seen. That was a 5-star match if ever there was one. Unfortunately, Dave Meltzer doesn't like women's wrestling or doesn't watch women's wrestling, but it was a 5-star match. And that came out of a what I thought was a terrible fucking bit of story, like manipulation or like booking or whatever. But the match was a 5-star. So a lot of these matches that we're going to get out of this week, they're probably, they always are. I mean, like I say, probably, they're always fucking, 4 or 5-star matches anyway, or go over that. So match wise, and as much as I'll enjoy the pay-per-view, there's no fucking problem there. My point was, and this is when someone randomly told me in the week, I clearly didn't watch the show. My point was that I just fucking, then they said yesterday, you don't get sarcasm. It's a fucking funny way of trying to be sarcastic. But no, my point was that I just felt that week, the 2 shows that week, there was a few things that were, and it was more down to like the standard AEW is set for me and what I expect from AEW, because it's always so fucking good. When people are saying there's no stories, I'm like, fuck you, the stories are amazing every week. And this was the only week where I've been like, the story's a bit fucked up here. There's nothing matching. And my fucking, we got a 4-way coming, the women's 4-way for the title, and it's going to be incredible. It's for the best women's wrestlers on the planet. And the story again, though, was just like, I mean, there is story there they could have used. They didn't go into the hate. Maybe they'll go into the hater thing more now and stuff.
I was
But
just about to
it was
say there's
just
no. I'll
no.
agree with your criticisms on other,
but
but yeah, the hater Tony Storm thing. There's a massive history
no,
there.
and it is, and I've been saying that should be the match anyway. But
And they
like
did, like, the
to make it a
face-off.
4-way and to throw Stat in there as well, just felt like we need to But Stat's always good. Throw her in there. It didn't feel like there was any real. I mean, Stat's booking has been. I'm sorry about I'm fucking ranting now a bit, but Stat's booking's been like a fucking scattergraph for fucking.
It's been terrible.
They don't know what to do with it, and it's such a shame because every time she steps in that ring, she fucking kicks it. She's one that she's incredible. But her booking and her character development from AEW has been such a fucking up and down. Like 1 minute she's face, 1 minute she's heel. Oh, they're teasing her heel again. Oh, nope, she's still a face. Oh, they don't know what they are. Tell you what, we'll stick her in the main event with 3 other women. It's just that.
Do you know a reason that what I think they've really fucked themselves over to some extent here is the fact that I think sooner rather than later, some people are going to start saying, okay, Tony Storm's title reign's gone on a bit too long here. And I wonder, is there a bit of pressure that they might want to move the title off her in this 4-way? But then you've rushed a title change as well then. So I think that they've put themselves in a no-win situation here. Tony retains, well, she probably should because there's not been enough build to this. And then people say, oh, well, she's beating everyone now. This is, Tony Hogan, wankers. Or we get a new champion and it feels that it's been massively rushed to get the title off her because there's not been, Stat winning the title should have a huge build to it.
100%.
Tekla is way too soon. And I've had a mind blank of who else is in the match.
Jamie Hater.
And Jamie Hater, she just come back like this, but there's not been the build for it. Like they could have easily just done this as a I don't know. Like, it'll be interesting, but it'll be an amazing match. But I don't think they've helped themselves with this booking.
I totally agree, and sorry to be fucking hogging the fucking mic at the moment, but like on this, my point around this is that you said there that people are going to be saying Tony's at the top too long. There's a lot of people on Twitter been saying that now for about fucking 4 months.
Yeah,
which is insane. Which is I disagree. Like I disagree. I think like she's fucking incredible. A character has not gone stale at all for me, and I think she's a fantastic champion. But the same people who are saying they should have title too long are throwing out, stick the belt on Willow or Stat. That's all well and good, but you don't want to just throw fuck, Stat's the champion now, let's go. You want something that means as much as it did with the Hangman story, 100%. For instance, or fucking when Kenny fucking won the title, or whatever. You want something where you've got to build. Like the reason I didn't want Will Ospreay to win the title 2 months ago was because I want a 6-month run of story and progression to get me so fully invested to where it means something. It means something so much. And like I want the belt on Willow more than anything. I want the belt on fucking Stat, but I want it to be a run where we build up to this and they get closer and closer to the point where we're all willing them on. We're all wanting them to do this, not just, it's time for a change, stick it on someone else now. Because that just doesn't work. You'll get a cheap pop for a fucking week and then it's like people will be like, oh, move the title, it's not working. Give me something we can get out, stick our teeth into and be like, yeah, fucking follow this along. Get a movement going, something to excite us all and get us emotionally hooked on this. Not just change the title because people... it's gone on for too long.
If you want that, if you want that up against a current reigning face champion, you think you're going to get anybody really, really getting behind someone against Tony Storm? I would love that, but I don't see it happening while Tony Storm is world champion. For that title change has to be a downer, like to lose it to somebody, to a bad guy.
I agree, but like, there's nobody in this. Maybe Tekla's a baddie that people maybe won't like, but there's no one in this match that people really don't like it to that point. Like,
you can all yell at me. What if Jamie Hater gets nasty? She's the one that took it from Tony last time.
I'm not
saying she should necessarily win, but if you want a hit, and it doesn't have to be at this event. What if Jamie starts getting nasty again?
I wouldn't mind that, but I'd just like it to be developed a bit more before that happens. This is the whole reason why I wanted Megan Bain to win the title, because like I thought that would have been the perfect, like monster woman to beat Tony, and then you could have had other women then in that line to go for the title, and it would have been a realistic loss as well at the time. But they've kind of since took the foot off that as well now, to the point where she's just a fucking tag team wrestler. There's no monster, there's no real like heel that you feel like realistically is going to beat Tony right now. There isn't. Mercedes is probably the closest you get, maybe Athena as well, but I didn't believe any of them were. And like, it's stupid, not for any character or storyline reason I didn't believe it. I just didn't believe because they already had titles. And I wanted to believe that they wouldn't have someone holding 2 of their main titles in the women's division that's already underbooked. Sorry. I've ranted too much there. I
Um,
apologise. It grates the fuck out of me.
I'm honestly, I I don't know. I might be one of the few people out there who have this mindset, but I look at, for some reason, not even just AEW, but just wrestling in general. It always seems this time of year, like after the big events, whether it's SummerSlam at WWE or it's after Forbidden Door or All In for AEW, it's always a bit of a lull, like this time of year, as far as like booking wise and major storyline wise. In a sense, and I feel like it's kind of like you guys know I'm a huge anime nerd that I am. It's like after you finish your big story arc in anime,
Really?
whether yes, I honestly believe that anime story writing and wrestling story writing are
Right.
not that big of. There's not that much difference between them. Like you
That's right.
finish your major storyline in like
Mm.
let's say Gohan beats Cell, and then the next storyline is like fast forward, he's in high school and it's all goofy shit for like 10 20 episodes, but then that sets you up for, oh, Goku comes back for a day and it's the World Martial Arts Tournament, and oh, now they're fighting Majin Buu. Like, it's always a lull, and there's always like, how do you say, an alternate like side story arc, like in anime, just like in wrestling as well. There's always going to be lulls, ebb and flows in AEW. I know we have this high standard of AEW, like as far as 2025 goes, as storyline wise, like everything altogether, I think it's been their best year so far. But I always,
agree.
I just feel like whether it's intentional or not, it's okay to like kind of take a step back and kind of reshuffle the deck. Look at your pieces right now, because I mean they are dealing with the fact that Ospreay, Swerve are out long term, and Omega, we don't know the severity of his injuries right now. He might need time off as well, or he might be more of a part timer. As right now, I kind of look at the last few weeks and maybe the All Out pay per view right now. Like it's more of just like he's using maybe different stars and different wrestlers and different pieces as a litmus test. Like, what can I do going forward after All Out? I think, maybe whether it's intentional or not, it's kind of Tony maybe just taking a step back and like, let me observe the landscape a little bit, and All Out, like he's going to stack the card. Yes, they'll all be great matches. Maybe not all like of them the best storyline wise that we expect from TK and AEW, but that's why I look at it. For whatever reason, I wish like maybe another time we'll go into a deeper dive. Like it's always just after the major events in not just AEW but WWE, like there's always a bit of a lull, like that first month or so. That first pay-per-view is just kind of thrown together. It'll be a good show, good card, but then maybe this card and what the results are will set up for what happens maybe in Wrestle Dream, what happens in Full Gear. So,
It's
that's
funny
why
you say that, Brett,
Mhm.
because it was a year ago when Stat randomly turned face overnight.
Huh. It's not
So
just anime either, Brett. Actually, now you've mentioned it, TV show, it's a known trope. They'll have a big, big moment, and then you'll have nobody here is going to be going to get the reference. But if anybody's ever seen Babylon 5, one of my favorite shows, they have a big moment and they have like a view from the gallery. It's like almost a side quest you get. They did it in The Last of Us. You get a side character focus. So yeah, I think you're
You-
right.
you-
After the big event, wrestling sort of does side quests.
the problem with that is that the
never
Walking
noticed
Dead did that, and the Walking Dead had some great episodes, and then it had an episode where it was just Daryl, and I can't remember the girl's name, and they were just looking through some empty houses for some booze, and it was the most boring episode of TV I've ever seen in my entire fucking life.
I haven't
So
seen
like,
that.
so I get that they maybe have to do this, but that doesn't affect, like, and look, that's probably harsh comparing that to AEW this week, because it wasn't boring at all. There was just some niggles, but so I get that, but that doesn't like prevent, that doesn't help
Oh no,
with
it's
my view
still.
of saying that. So like, I don't know, like I feel like I defend AEW a hell of a lot, like, so, and if it was anyone else who'd had the kind of weak build that it feels like to me, I would be fucking calling them out big time, So
I don't think so. I think
just
if WWE had done this sort of building story, we'd be calling it their best storytelling of the year.
I wouldn't, but then I wouldn't be watching to know, to
Well,
be
no.
honest. So
But no, I mean, absolutely, yeah. Still have
someone
like your
probably would.
criticisms and
I
stuff,
get
but
you.
it is a
Yeah.
pattern. For me, one of their best all outs was 2023.
They needed it after All In as well, yeah.
After the Punk thing, and it wasn't because of the stories that they'd built. It was because of the disaster. It felt like a reset.
Yeah.
'Cause
But yeah, I've never noticed that, Brett. But you're absolutely right. Animated and other all TV shows, they do. It's a pattern.
So,
Huh.
but like I get that there's probably a bit of a season, a pre-season or whatever that you would put it to what they do now. But that's not the case with the women's division anyway. The women's division has had these problems like listed throughout it for a long time. It stems from just not having the time to really develop and rotating the women out far more than they rotate any of the men. I mean, we spoke about them maybe rotating Big Bill in and out till he's frozen. The women's division, that some of them are rotated in and out that much that you kind of forget what stories. I mean, like randomly this week, no Aminata, after she's been one of the focal points of this entire
Isn't
fucking
she going
thing.
for the Ring of Honor? Isn't she in a tournament in Ring of Honor? Going for
She's in the women's pure.
I would have still had her on Dynamite, to be honest, though, because she's been one of the key figures in this entire feud.
Do you think she was maybe
She's
just a stand-in for Jamie, though?
Sorry?
Do you think she was maybe just a stand-in? I hope not, but a stand-in for Jamie Hayter.
I hope not, because if she was, I felt like it was at first, but I feel like she grabbed that opportunity with both hands to the point where she has become such an important part of TV that you can't fucking just stick her on the back burner now. She's fucking incredible. She should be in, like, whether she was a stand-in or a substitute or what, she should now be part of this story with Hayter and Tekla. Make that a fucking three-way. That's a three-way you'd love to fucking watch. They beat the living shit out of each other.
It'd be
the stiff. Yeah, a number one contender. It'd be the stiffest match you'll ever watch in your life.
Hey. Yeah, I mean, take that. I wouldn't, mind you, I wouldn't complain if they were keeping Aminata on Ring of Honor because they planned to give her the pure title.
I'd like that for her to get the title, but I want to see her on Dynamite.
I think that's gonna be Deanna. In my opinion,
I think so.
Yeah,
I
think so.
But
I feel like they need to do something with Deanna. Deanna has been wasted big time. She's just not clicked for whatever reason. But I've seen some of her matches before AEW signed, and she was incredible. So I just don't get what it is. I mean, she had one match on a fucking 0 hour with with Anna Jay, and it was terrible. It was one of the worst matches I've ever seen, and both of them are way better than that.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Maybe she just needs the extra time to get used to that style of doing things, and putting her in, giving her the Ring of Honor time might be just the thing.
Probably. So we
but
talked
I haven't
about
seen much of her beforehand, so
here we go. I've got a random one that we hadn't discussed before that I'm going to throw in because this was great. Someone
if it's
tweeted
more wrestlers from New York, Andy. No.
We've determined it's Karrion Kross. Someone tweeted that they would like to see a conglomeration. If you were sticking some wrestlers with El Clon, is that his name? El Clon, I think it is. Isn't it? Who would you throw in there? Random wrestlers with?
Well, we need opposites.
His evil conglomeration.
Well, the first one is easy. The first one is obviously Roderick Strong. Because he does not want to join the conglomeration.
Yeah, he's
at all.
Kyle O'Reilly's alternate.
Somebody brought this up. Like, who would be the Tomohiro Ishii? Like Evil Ishii? Like, who would be the villain version of Tomohiro?
Fucking Jay Joshua. I don't know.
Minoru Suzuki.
Oh,
that's a good one.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, it just is.
Huh. He'll just chop
the
shit out of anyone.
And made him psychotic. More psychotic.
He's the only man.
He's all giggly.
Who has been in a match that I personally rated 5 stars. That was nothing but chops for 10 minutes, and that was him and Jericho. And it was bizarre. Like, they did no wrestling moves. They just chopped the fuck out of each other for 10 minutes.
I don't normally like chops, but fucking hell, that was
same.
That was amazing.
I get to the point where I'm like, that's enough chops now, lads. Let's finish the match. But they just chopped the fuck out of each other, and when you thought they'd finished, they chopped some more. And Jericho's chest started bleeding. It was class.
Yeah, there you go.
That was the episode that Ishii was following around Jericho, right?
Oh,
no,
where it was
this was another one. This was a while before.
Okay,
this.
Gotcha.
This was a while ago.
Yeah, no, that was great when he was following him around. That's where I don't know. You missed it last. I was just going to quickly tell Mark he missed this last week. We had a question from somebody, and they were who can stop Ishii? And I said Wrestling Mark when he wins the lottery, because you're going to buy him, aren't you?
Going to keep him forever. God, yeah.
That was the only way anyone could stop it.
Doing the Ishii creep, but with that grin on it, the crazy grin on his face.
Yeah.
That's a horror film villain.
You would actually be scared for whoever it is.
So who else is in the Willow's a conglomerator.
Strong for O'Reilly. Who else is in the conglomeration?
Oh God. If anyone has if anyone's seen Buffy, Evil Willow is
fucking what's his face? Brisco.
Oh,
yeah,
Briscoe's in it. Who
Briscoe's a
would be opposite
conglomerate.
Briscoe? Jesus.
Shit, who's
I
it?
can't
Maybe
think of
guys we
anyone.
haven't
Wait,
even
no.
seen, honestly. Like maybe from CMLL. What was that, Mark?
I'm thinking. I've got the
Mark's
roster up in
looked
front of me. I'm sitting
I
there
think
scrolling
he's-
through, looking
Yeah.
for
Oh,
for adequate people to go
Oh,
opposite Willow and
um,
Briscoe. And I'm sure this will be dead air here because I'm just going to sit here
Christian
scrolling.
Cage.
So
Mark Briscoe is a dad to 9 children.
Jeff Jarrett. He looked great.
Mm.
Jeff Jarrett, like Matt Briscoe has a farm. Jeff Jarrett looked great on that fucking tractor that time.
Yeah, he
Satnam
did.
Singh has done it. He's been on the farm.
I was
Yes,
actually going to
that's
suggest
something
that.
I'm
Brian
saying there,
Danielson?
fair.
The vegan versus the chicken farmer. I've solved it. Vegan, chicken farmer. Or we can have Zack Sabre Jr., another vegan. It's got to be vegan. Where's Dan?
Stick Anthony Bowen's in here as well for
Yeah.
someone.
I'm not putting Dan in the group. They'd be talking about Riot for about fucking 2 years before we actually get to watch a match. Sorry, Dan.
I like a nice Riot review. I'm gonna get him to do his own little episode. He can have 8 hours to talk about Riot Cabaret.
He did that last week.
All right. Who else? Is anybody else? Was Orange Cassidy a conglomerator?
Yes,
yeah,
he
of
was.
course
Yes.
he was.
Okay,
Yeah,
we got
Dave
that
even
one. The
asked that.
Rizzler. The
Jack
Rizzler.
Perry. Oh, Rizzler. Yeah. Conglomerating's a state of mind.
That dude we seen in the Big Penny Social, he was the fucking Orange Cassidy doppelganger, wasn't he, bro? Remember him?
Yeah,
Gal?
he definitely
Is
was.
the
Like he was
Orange
playing.
Cassidy doppelganger.
We
was playing,
seen an
He
actual.
was playing ping pong over there. I'm like, no, it's not him.
He had a denim jacket on Everton as well. We thought he was
Yeah.
Orange Cassidy.
Was it
And
just
then
Gal?
Mel waved at him, and he kind of looked at us. And she went, "Hi," and he just looked at us like he was scared.
That was too much
And
energy.
we never
much
seen him
energy.
again.
Yeah, too much energy to be
I'm
orange.
trying to think what's the opposite of orange. Oh, blue. Sky blue.
That's not a bad one. Yeah.
Yeah, we need more
Yeah.
colour names. Isn't Scarlet released with Carrying Cross? She can be the anti-orange.
Yeah. Oh no, but I don't want to believe that's happening, but it is.
No.
What's
my
happening?
God.
Yes. So we're having an evil conglomeration, and
And a
What else were we gonna-
conglomeration.
while we're talking about groups, and we should have spoke about this a few minutes ago when we were talking about the women. Tekla wants to add a dude to Madness.
She said she's
Triangle.
open to adding a few members to the. She wants them called Madness because Triangle of
Yeah.
Madness. You add a load more. You've got
I
fucking
get that. Yeah.
dodecahedron of desolation or something.
That's a good name for a group. I'd go for that. Good
You
t-shirts.
can't, if you could get someone to chant that. What if they'll chant "Let's go
Max
Max, you're the best
Caster could
wrestler alive."
throw him in the group. He'll get a fucking chanter.
They'll
yeah.
chant dodecahedron.
Who would you add to the group then? If she was gonna, like, if she was adding, she said she wants to add a few more. So if you had like another woman and
Open to adding
a
a man.
bloke,
I would love that because you always get an all-male group with an all-male group with a token woman.
exactly.
Hello?
Yes.
All right,
Give
I
them
need
a-
to
give-
replace all but one
give
of you with women, by the way.
Give them a. I'm just bypassing this. Give them a token man. Let's go.
Token man, pet man.
Brody.
Can it be?
Brody.
Brody.
Brody aligned with Tekla.
But what if Buddy Matthews comes back?
He can go with Bandido then. They can turn on Brody. There we go. Sorted it. Easy.
Hmm.
Mm.
Ortiz, give
Um,
Ortiz
Mr.
something to do.
Ripley
Poor
would be-
It's gotta
bastard.
be,
Yes, Joe, what? That's a great
would-
fucking shout, actually.
Holy
it
shit.
can be an
What about
instant
trying to do,
key.
mate?
When
That's
you-
He can be
That's a
whatever
pull
he
right
wants.
there.
Ortiz can spook it up. Yeah, all right,
I like
Ortiz,
that.
I think.
I like that.
I hate the
Fucking
fact
yeah.
he
I'm
was
gonna
being
He's a great
Charles
charged
wrestler,
for
Lee,
it.
Ortiz,
yeah.
man. He's done fuck all.
Not fair. He didn't deserve
I
this shit.
think he'll be back anyway when Eddie's back.
Yeah,
when
so-
Eddie's back, he'll be back.
Mhm.
I hope so as well.
I hope so. I really like him. Always
Serpentico.
liked
Stick
him.
Serpentico in the group.
Oh yeah. Evil
Yes.
Snake Man. Snickety Snake Man.
No,
yeah.
I forbid it. Oh, you
Uh,
know who it should be.
No.
Well,
Next. What was the next
It
subject?
should be Brandon Cutler as
I
the
think-
dragon. Come on.
I think we
Triangle of
skipped
Madness. You've got Julia Spray and Mist. You've got Brandon Spray and Fire. It'll be
Mm.
perfect. Brandon
Yeah, and
Cutler.
anyway, we did say we were going to call Bully Ray a cunt. Bully Ray, you are a cunt.
Well, you fat cunt.
Yeah, fuck you,
nervous.
Stevie
I think
Richards.
Steve Richards too.
And not in the nice
Yeah.
way.
And Rob Van
I
Dam.
used to
What the
love
fuck is he doing
Stevie
supporting
Richards.
all these cunts?
Well,
When he was saying he's
the
got a
drugs
crop
have
top.
taken their toll, man. They take their toll. Again, when you've been smashed in the
fucking
head for 2
disappointment.
decades with a chair and you smoked a fucking eighth of skunk every day for 3 decades,
Look at our
your brain turns to potato.
Look at RVD.
That's what I mean. He thinks Matt Riddle's knocking on his door with his. Anyway,
Yeah, lots of cunts in wrestling.
It's a
None of
shame.
them
Like it's
getting
a
match
shame with
time.
RVD because I thought he was a good guy. It's a shame with RVD, but he's what he
Yeah,
said was
I-
embarrassing, shameful.
I think his Matt
Twat.
Riddle thing was him trying to cover up for that, wasn't it? And be like, oh, let's make a joke out of it. I've got Matt Riddle's back. I don't think he really had Matt Riddle's back, or at least I hope he didn't.
Right.
But that thing he did with Rampage's kid, fuck that, man. That was pathetic.
Yeah, I hope that was
Crazy.
just a.
I took his Matt Riddle thing as him making a joke out of the fact that he looked like a dickhead the week before. Like almost,
think?
hey guys, look at me. Yeah,
That would be good.
because
Yeah, if
he
he's
put a laughing
realised that.
face, didn't he? He was like, I've got Matt Riddle's back, and a laughing face on the end. Like, so I don't know. I hope it's a joke because I would hate to think that he's seen Matt Riddle's video and been like, I like this guy.
Crazy.
How can you possibly do that?
So we actually
If Mike
skipped.
Bailey was in Conglomeration, I'd be suggesting Matt Riddle is his opposite. That's how bad Matt Riddle is.
Look,
He's
stick
anti
hooking,
Bailey.
stick hooking madness. There we go. Needs something. They'll whip him into
No, he's
shape.
busy.
They'll whip him into shape.
Yeah.
They'll make him do something other than suplexes. Get rid of that fucking
You were
stupid
just
signal.
loving a match that was all chops a minute ago.
Yeah, but that was between two fucking absolute goats.
It was. All right. You're right. I can't
Yeah.
compare. Yeah. I can't compare mortals to Ishii.
No,
Sorry,
not at all.
Suzuki. He's the good version and the evil version.
I will not say what you've just done. That's disgraceful.
Crazy.
Well, it's because we were talking about one was
So-
the evil version, one's the good version.
No, wasn't there? Anyway, what
what
did we
you're gonna
miss, Brett?
forget.
You said we missed something.
Yeah, we actually skipped over a big one. So in regards to the All Out card, so it's official. We got MJF versus Briscoe at All Out. So how the episode ended, MJF cost Briscoe the match against Takeshita. So now MJF wants him 1-on-1, and he said Briscoe can pick the stipulation. Briscoe said he needs time to think about it. So let's go one by one. I'll go first on what the stipulation should be, and I say put the contract up for grabs.
But you did
Yes,
that.
please. I'll
Put the
take that.
contract on
Now-
ladder match.
now-
Perhaps, can I say, where do you think that? How do you think? Well, go on, Lucy. I might have your idea, so I'll let you go
I
first.
was
Go on.
going to say that MJF said you can pick the match type, you can pick the stipulation.
Yes.
Now that's two separate things to me. The
Well,
contract is up for grabs and the
that's
stipulation.
still a stipulation. I
Still can
think
pick a different type.
I think it could be a ladder match with the contract hanging above the ladder. I'm not saying I like that.
Oh,
I don't like it,
I'd
but
take that.
I'm not putting it past that. I'd much rather it be the
I
contract
do.
up for grabs in a dog collar match.
I
If-
don't think it needs.
unless Jay's, it's similar to like he doesn't want to do a 2-man tag. Like if he doesn't want to do another dog collar.
I think
for
that.
whatever
I
it
don't
is.
think he will want to do a dog collar. You know, I don't think he'd be
I
interested
can
in that.
understand
But
why, but if he's comfortable doing that dog collar.
I just don't think it needs. Like, I mean, we've already gonna have a couple of stipulation matches on the card. I don't think it needs one. Put the contract on. That would be a great one. Yeah, just so we can get rid of that fucking contract.
Well, what are the other stipulation matches? I know it's we got the coffin match,
haven't we?
Coffin.
The
Yeah.
coffin match, and they kind of like I know that's not happened, but FTR kind of hinted, didn't they, that they would be interested in a tables, ladders, and chairs match. They did.
I
did
think they
in
were more
one
like
of the
that.
promos.
You're only known for that one match.
Yeah.
But
Maybe it was just me
But just
hoping
just
that
like
was
right
the
now,
case.
like it's only the coffin match that's the only stipulation match right now. So I mean, if you do that, I mean, you could do a ladder match with the contract up there.
I don't think every match needs to have a stipulation. I'd like to see a card with maybe just one, and then the rest are just solid matches. Just let Briscoe get the win clean over him, and I think MJF probably will do that. You know, I mean, just it came out recently, didn't it, that MJF really wants to like do this with Briscoe, and you know he was determined to do it. You know, so you know, I maybe he lets him get the clean win, and maybe I get my wish, and MJF realizes how much of a cunt he is and where he's going wrong, and he actually does turn face, because if the Don Callis family are gearing up to be the heel faction for the next 12 months, you're going to need more than one or two good guys, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know that we
I
need
know
it.
you're against an MJF face run right now, but I'd
I'm
fucking
all
love it.
for it, but not right now. I think he needs another 6 months as a heel. I think he has to. He's
I-
still
I-
way too vulnerable and hurt to like act. Yeah.
I'm not saying do it overnight. I mean, no,
Yeah.
it's not Statlander. I mean, like, you know, just a slow burn fucking...
Okay,
a
if you
slow
guys
bit-
hinting at it now,
Yeah,
I'll give you that.
Yeah, I mean, like where he kind of starts realizing that, like, maybe friends aren't bad. Maybe this whole loner thing isn't. Honestly, I don't know what's happening with the Hate Syndicate, whether it is just thrown out the window, but I'd love them to just turn up and beat the shit out of him. Just turn up and all of them beat the fucking shit out of him and leave him a mess. Give him a week or two off. Let him go and have his honeymoon. and then
Oh yeah.
have him come back just with only a slight little bit difference, but still be that I'm so fucking jealous of everybody. Why is everyone else like that? I'm not, and then just play into that more as you go on.
Because the thing with him and Hangman that was so beautiful is MJF was desperate not to beat Hangman, but to turn Hangman, to drag him
Yeah.
down, for the crowd to boo Hangman. Because if we booed Hangman, it's not that MJF wasn't lovable, it's that we don't love. It was, it made it our fault, not his.
mean,
but with the crowd embracing Hangman and cheering him, even when he did all the shitty things, I think that's fucked MJF up to the point where it's going to take a long time for him to even hint at
Well,
coming back.
his lines out the side of the ring there in the week as well. And he tweeted out, didn't he? You loved it when Hangman did it.
And we did.
And it's. Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to see a slow burn face turn from MJF with a big face run for next year. Then again, saying that Will Ospreay's going to be coming back, and unless he's going to be a heel, I'd love him to be a heel, but he's probably going to be a face, isn't he, for his big title win?
For Wembley, certainly.
I guess a lot of it depends on what happens when Swerve comes back, whenever he comes back. Is he going to come back as the Swerve who everyone loves, or is he going to come back as a bit of a twat, wanting to maybe get some of the things he feels like have been taken away from him?
Swerve is one of those wrestlers, one of the few that I think is equally good as a face or a heel. Usually somebody's a little better one way or the other, but Swerve to me is just flawless as both, so I don't care.
I think
Don't
that's
give a
what
shit.
MJF is like, but the problem with Swerve is Nana. As long as he fucks Nana off, because if he's got Nana with him, no one's going to boo him. And that's my only issue with MJF when he's a heel. He's one of the best heels in the business, but people don't really hate him. Like he's one of
No.
them heels that you love, like whereas Mox's heel stuff, and again, like I'm not saying it was great. I'm not, revising history and saying the whole thing was great, but everyone hated Mox for this entire fucking run.
Oh yeah, they wanted him to lose. Absolutely desperate for it.
Apart from when he was against Cope, for some reason they wanted him to win that match.
Yeah.
Otherwise. Okay.
So
But yeah, talking about
anyone
MJF,
else
go on.
stipulation for the match?
I think as long as I think he's going to put the contract on the line.
I hope so.
Maybe it'll just be like just hardcore match or lumberjack. So you can't fucking cheat with that ring. We'll have a lot of people watching you.
Do you know what? I would, if they do put the contract on the line, he wins, I would actually take, and you're going to be surprised by this now, I would take a face versus face match with a Shock Briscoe win.
You would take a cash in?
No, I'd take a face versus face title match with a Shock Briscoe win on an episode of Dynamite.
Win?
Yeah, and then a rematch.
Whoa,
at the next
disgusting losing voice there.
Taking it back.
Well, remember, there's no more cash-ins. There's no more cash-ins. Remember, Tony said after Forbidden Door that he said because of what Max did, like, in kayfabe, wise, like, now you have to announce your shot like a week ahead of time.
Yeah.
So
really
there's no.
everybody.
So I think Andy won't have a heart attack, when that gets announced. Like,
no.
Andy, he listened to you. Tony listened to you. He said, "Okay, Andy, no more cash-ins, so we're good going forward."
Ask him for something. Yeah, ask him for something every week.
That's one thing, in my opinion, that AEW has not had that in their 6-year existence. That shocking title win on television, like for their world title.
Yeah.
Like, just imagine Briscoe, like you said, pulling off the upset, beating Hangman. But and it could be like a Mankind Mick Foley situation. Yeah, he wins it, beats The Rock, on Raw, but he loses it shortly in a couple weeks on the pay-per-view, and nobody really got mad because it's fucking Mark Briscoe. Like,
exactly.
You're gonna lose your shit, and yeah,
it's Mark Briscoe, but it's also Hangman Adam fucking Page, and as much as beloved as Mark Briscoe is, nobody's cheering him over Hangman. They're just not.
I think he'll get a fair bit, and I think people will be in the moment. People will be happy, but then people will be desperate for Hangman to win it back, and I think he will. I think that's what I would do. I would have him win it straight back.
A different champion, I'd be with you, but God no,
this is with MJF Hangman. Down the line, I think.
Yeah, do it with MJF. I'll give you that.
I feel like if it's against the face, it's even more unexpected, especially someone as big as Hangman. And I feel like that. I don't know. That would just.
If Serpentico comes out and wins it, but it's still not.
Yeah, but that's not really realistic, is it?
Bad.
I love Serpentico. You hate him, but that's not really realistic.
I would never say that where he could hear me.
Well, you shall take me first. So I would say face versus face. The one time it would work is that on an episode of Dynamite. Yeah, well, I'd go for that.
Not face versus face. Not if you
And
want
you'd,
that massive. Holy shit! What a great moment. Like
and it'd
I'm
have
trying to think. Like when Action Andretti beat Jericho. Wouldn't have happened. It wouldn't have worked if Jericho was beloved by everyone at the time. Some jobber beating, I don't know, who's the most popular, Kenny Omega, isn't gonna get that reaction. You need a
Does anyone
heel.
think
You need
they've
someone
got
to root
something?
against.
They might have something. I don't know what. I thought they've got something big in store for the Dynamite before All Out.
they have to.
Well,
I
they've rebranded it, haven't they? There's no Collision that week. It's called September to
Remember.
something.
And you know what you'll all
Remember.
remember from that
'Cause isn't
September?
it September,
Chris
December was
Jericho
the-
coming back.
I'll take it.
Something they've done
But-
that. They've branded that for a reason. They're going to do something big leading into All Out.
It's going to either be, I think, it's going to be related to a Canadian. So it's either going to be Chris Jericho returns or Kenny Omega returns and sets up a match. And
We're not WWE. We don't call someone returning after
after.
they've been off TV for 1 week, Andrew.
It would
We
be
get-
the greatest return in the history
God.
of
And we get
wrestling.
Golden Lovers versus the Young Bucks.
No,
Get all out.
I just mean, like, you know, with all these rumors of him being done for a while because he's, you know,
Yeah.
going to Japan to see doctors and all this stuff and
He's
working
got-
with
yeah,
New
he's-
Japan, but apparently,
He's doing some
I-
like
they-
promotion stuff for anime and that as well, isn't he? He's got a
yeah, I think he's doing. He's got loads of stuff on, and apparently his doctors are there, so he's going to see his doctors anyway and get some checks and stuff. And he's going to do some work with Tanahashi, you know,
that's it, yeah.
working with his obviously his final run there, which, you know, it's great. But I want to see Kenny Omega on telly. I want
yeah.
Kenny Omega
I
on
want-
telly
yeah.
every week.
We need Golden Lovers versus Young Bucks at some point once they're ready. Absolutely, yeah. I
If we
would love it
can't-
to be
if-
it all out.
If we can't have that, and you're not going to give me an actual built title match, give me Kenny and Hangman one more time against the Bucks. Have the Bucks win, no, have the Bucks lose, and then have some kind of breadcrumbs leading to a Bucks eventual realise why we're a bunch of cunts, we miss our friends, and then play the next 6 months out
And they
of
can
that.
do it
and
on
give me an elite
BTE now.
reunion. Because I don't care how played out it is, how many times they've done it, and how obvious it would be. If you gave me a fucking elite reunion, I would fucking lose my shit. And I'm not all these people. Oh, they're going with a bunch of 40-year-old guys again, even though they're not 40. But Kenny is 40, I
No.
think, whatever. But I wouldn't care. You give me the elite when they're 50. If it's the elite
Yeah.
together, I'll be happy with that. It'd be like
I
watching the
think
fucking
Matt is
Beatles.
40.
Yeah, I'm excited for Cope and Christian, and they're in their bloody 40s or 50s.
I am. I think it's because Christian's amazing, and I actually don't hate Cope like everyone else. I feel like
No, I love him.
I just hated how he was placed in that storyline.
Mm.
But
He-
outside
he
of that,
was
I think he's
booked-
actually been good.
He was booked perfectly, like pre-injury, like he was in the mid card. He was nowhere near
Yeah.
the main event scene. Like if he would have
Cope
went back
Open
into
was
the
cool.
mid card when he
It
came back
was.
from injury, then it would have been just fine. But I mean, listen, he's where he is now is where we all expect him to be in a tag team
Yeah.
with Christian. And you know, I think Mark said it, like, was it a week or two ago? Like, I feel like that the Young Bucks and FTR, they're gonna have a competition amongst themselves, like who can have the better match with Cope and Christian. And so it's like FTR is up first, and I would love during this match between FTR and Cope and Christian, like if for a few seconds they cue to the back with the Young Bucks looking at the TV screen, watching the match, and is like just setting up the possibility, like they got their eyes on Cope and Christian, like for a match down the line, like.
Yeah.
Maybe Cope and Christian wrestling is what lights the fire in the Young Bucks again, and they're like,
Oh.
"Fuck, man, this is what we used to fucking love." You know, like, why are we being cunts? Let's, you know.
Remember
I-
what
I-
it's really all about.
I just want the Bucks on telly every week. The Bucks are the best
all I
tag team
want
of
as
all
well,
time for
honestly.
me. I need give me them on. They need to be on the pay per view. They need to be on telly every week. I don't give a fuck. So out of them two, which one do you think is going to get number 2 in terms of the greatest match they can have with Cope and Christian? Which one's going to get second place? Because I'm just wondering which one you have for third place as well. Because clearly the Outrunners are going to get the best match out of Cope and Christian.
There it is.
I mean, that's going to be a great match. And listen, when that match does happen, at the conclusion of the match, like, they need to be playing kazoos or something in the middle of the ring. Like, I need it. I
5-second
need it.
pause.
Oh, the 5-second pose. Yes, we need the 5-second pose after the match. That would be.
And we need exactly what I've been asking for on this podcast for a long time. We need Los Superanas against the Conquistadors. We need them to be like, we can't wrestle. We're not allowed in the building. And We're not wrestling you guys. You got to whatever. I don't fucking care. Give me the two of them as fake fucking lucha
We'll
teams.
throw in the Young Bucks old thing where Matt was Fluffy the dog. If any of you have ever seen that, Matt was in a full dog suit
Can we also get Bryan Danielson involved somehow as
as Blue
Infinito
Panther.
or whatever his name is?
Oh
No,
yeah.
remember he was a fucking luchador only for 1 week on Dark.
Mm.
Oh
That
my
was
God,
back when Cody was Fuego 2 on it as well.
Yeah.
Everyone's got an
Fuego
alternate
Dos,
identity.
Fuego Dos, yeah. Too
What
fast,
I
too
need more
Fuego.
than anything, now BTE is back, I need a competing Edge and Cope and Christian show that totally smells of coolness, or whatever they want to call it, to get around the cease and
Reeks of
desist.
awesomeness.
That
Yeah.
would
No,
be
you
fucking
can't use
amazing.
that. That's owned by someone. But yeah,
I think
Fantastic.
FTR win this match with the help of a returning Jack Perry, and I feel like I feel like it's going to be a
You're gonna
while
have him
before
lose in
Cope Christian.
Toronto.
Yeah, I feel. Well, you're not going to want to just blow it too early, are you? I think they'll.
no.
I feel like you build then to like a couple of pay-per-views time, and then they get the big win.
Yes. But mind you, it's in Canada. Who knows? They might decide to go for it.
I
and
think
give him a beat
FTR
down at
win.
Toronto.
FTR are going to win this one, and then Edge and Christian Cope and Christian will eventually win the tag titles off them down the line.
Yeah, I think.
Let them have the
that's,
tag title. Yeah.
That's the way, isn't it? Yeah.
And then what? The Bucks
Um,
take it off them.
Yeah, and then the Outrunners
Yep.
take it off them in a 10-second squash match.
Boom. No, then
I want the Golden
Ibushi and
Lovers
Kenny
to
take
take
it off them.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Because as much as everyone wants like that match, I want the Golden Lovers versus Young Bucks more than anything. Any other match in the world.
That's going to
That is
happen
my
at all.
dream
That'll be
match.
for the tag titles all in next year.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's my
I'll take
prediction.
that if I'm there.
I wouldn't be
Already got-
surprised. Yeah, as long as for next year we get the big match that we're all hoping for the world title anyway. I'll take that.
Does this involve an outrunner, Andy? You got to tell us.
Yeah,
if
the
it does.
Outrunners against Hangman Adam Page for the world title. Yeah, that's what I was
2-on-1 match. What?
God, look at the time, guys. I think we need to wrap it up now, Andy.
I'm trying to
you
compete
leave
with the
first.
Brandon Cutler.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. Keep talking.
No, I think I wouldn't be surprised if that's for all in next year. I think
Yeah.
there's a hell of a lot they can do.
Yeah. All right. I'll take that.
Right, guys. So I think we went through everything on the chat and the log. So I think this
Yeah.
might be a good place to end the.
This was like an old episode. This where we just talked loads of shite like we were in a pub. This is like what we
It's
used to
fun.
do.
Good
a
time.
stroll down
baby.
memory lane.
We've got a nice Andy rant. That's always pleasant.
Yes.
Always good Andy rant. It's
Oh,
always
yeah.
good when we get rant off
It's a bit-
Andy.
It was a bit
Makes
of a long
life
rant
worth
there. Sorry,
living.
Nice.
I do
From the heart,
apologise.
from the gut, man.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
All right.
it's endearing.
it's only because I want them to do better. Isn't that what
You're
they all
like the
say?
angry man on the corner yelling at clouds and pigeons.
No, that's a happy man right there.
It's nice. No, the
Andy's
guy,
the happy guy.
Crazy Dave yelling at the pigeons is always happy. Yeah.
The Outrunners are on the screen. I can see the Outrunners. I'm always happy. Make me smile whenever So
As
yeah,
always,
and
chaps, it has been an honour. to share
before
the
we go,
screen with
did you
Christian
see? Did you
Ben.
guys see the big Father versus Son match announced today?
What
Ben
match is
Bishop
that?
against Matt Cardona.
I saw Ben.
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, good luck to Ben Bishop. We're all Ben Bishop stands on this podcast.
we are. And how fucking stupid are the Fed to pass him up?
Yeah, they're fucking cunts, man.
Dipshits.
But
That won't do him any favours. Sorry, Ben.
keep doing what you're doing, Ben. We love you, man.
All right, are we done?
Yes, we're wonderful.
Yeah, we're
'cause
done.
I
Guys, thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining Group Chat Wrestling Podcast. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, GW Podcast UK, where we upload new clips every week from every episode. Follow us on Twitter, GW Podcast UK, for all news and updates regarding the show. We thank you for joining us in this glorious episode. Good night, good evening, and
Suplex that like
goodbye.
button.
Bang.